Hello, welcome back to class. This is Module 2 of Yam Farming, and we'll be discussing on land preparation and cultivation technique. Land preparation and cultivation technique. And you remember that we said the first stage is production. In terms of when we talk about the Yam farming system, and now we are talking about what it's embedded in, like the land preparation and cultivation technique. We will look at the climatic requirement for yam, the soil requirements, land selection, land preparation, seed yam selection, planting method, and then the staking technique and irrigation method. Successful yam production begins with proper land preparation and the application of appropriate cultivation techniques. Understanding this principle of land preparation and cultivation is very important for achieving optimum productivity, minimizing production challenges, and also ensuring a sustainable yam farming. And a thorough understanding of this concept will actually help you as a learner to be able to um, have a knowledge and practical skill needed to be able to establish and manage productive yam farm capable of achieving high yield and also sustainable agricultural success. And that is why it is very important for us to look at land preparation and cultivation techniques. Looking at the climatic requirement for yam, yam is a crop, tropical crop, and its optimal conditions are crucial. In terms of rainfall, we talk about 1000 millimeter to 1500 millimeter per year, um, well distributed. And when it is too little, it leads to poor growth, and when it is too much, it leads to rottenness and also diseases. And the temperature should be between 25 degrees centigrade to 30 degrees centigrade. And the lower temperature will lead to delayed growth, while a high temperature will lead to or can lead to heat stress. For the humidity, it's moderate to high, and when it is low, it can lead to wetting, and when it is high or we have excess humidity, can lead to fungal diseases. So plant at the onset, you need to plant at the onset of rain and use mulch to be able to conserve the moisture. So this is very important when we talk about the climatic requirement of yam. Now let's look at the soil requirements. The best soil for yam is actually a sandy loam. And why is this so? One is that it has a loose structure which allows easy tuber expansion. Also, it's good drainage, prevents waterlogging, and also adequate aeration for root growth. It provides adequate aeration for root growth. And the unsuitable soil include the heavy clay, which has poor drainage and also is known for waterlogging. And then the shallow or rocky kind of soil also is not suitable because it limits tuber growth and causes malformed yam. You need to always conduct a soil test before planting to determine the nutrients level and the pH of such a soil. Now, looking at the land selection criteria, we have um, it by factor, and this is going to be a three factor. So choosing the right farmland is critical for profitability, and these three factors are very important to be considered when doing that. The first one is good drainage, which is a prevention of waterlogging and tuber rots, and then no standing water after rain. You make sure that such a land has no standing water after rain. And then another factor is access to road. How easy is it to be able to transport inputs like seed, fertilizers, and also how easy is it to be able to transport it out of the farm to the market. And the last is the market proximity. Looking at is the road good. It's not the only thing. You have to look at how far or near is it to the market, because it talks about how reduced the transport cost will be. Fast, it also determines the delivery rate, whether fast or slow, and also a close one um, will reduce post-harvest loss. Why? When it is far, it actually increases post-harvest loss, because the time of transporting might be unconducive for the yam in terms of heat and the likes. So it is very important to take note of that. Now we have the land preparation method. Land preparation helps create a favorable environment for yam. And we have the methods, which is bush clearing, we have the ridging, we have mounding, we have the mulching. When we talk about bush clearing, it's the removal of vegetations manually or mechanically, and it helps to remove competition and pest habitats. Um, for ridging, it's actually forming long raised bed, and it's improved drainage and also aeration. And then for mounding, it's actually the creating of individual soil heap, an individual soil heap, and you see this is very common for yam, where you have um, individual soil heap, and it's best for heavy soil, and it allows growth to by expansion. And we have the mulching also. For this one, it's covering soil with leaves and grass and also plastic. And this actually conserve moisture, reduces weeds, and also regulates the temperature of such yam soil. Now looking at seed yam selection, yam quality planting, quality planting material is actually equal to high yield potential. So if you have a quality yam seed, then you will experience a high yield. You are potentiated to experience a high yield, all things being equal. And characteristics of healthy seed yam is one, firm with no soft spots. It's firm with no soft spots. It also has no sign of disease, rot, or insect damage. And then it has an intact skin, that is no deep cut, and it's good size and maturity is another one. And always select tuber from high yielding healthy plants from the previous season. So you don't have to eat everything that you harvested. You don't have to sell it or all. You don't have to sell all. You need to still take the very healthy ones for planting for the coming season also. Then let's look at the mini sets technique. And this is multiplying planting material from one tuber. And the process of this process of mini sets is one, you select healthy large um, tuber, and then you cut into pieces, small pieces like 25 to 100 gram each, and also you treat with ashes or fungicide to prevent rot, and then you pre-sprout before planting. Advantage of this is that it produces many seed yam from one tuber. It also reduces cost of planting material, and also it enables large scale production. Planting methods and spacing. When we talk about this is about how and where to place the seed yam. How and where to place the seed yam. And we have two methods. We have the ridge planting, which is um, you plant on raised beds, and this is good for drainage and also mechanization. And we have the heap um, planting, which is on individual months, and good for poor soil but labor intensive. It's actually labor intensive. The process of having to bring up the soils to form that heap as such. So the recommended spacing is um, between rows, maybe between it should be between 1 to 1.2 meters for the spacing, and between plants it should be between 0.8 to 1 meter. Why spacing matters is that it actually reduces competition for nutrients and also ensures proper tuber growth. Let's look at the staking technique. It's actually providing support for yam vines to climb. It's providing support for vines to be able to climb where you maybe put stick or so. And staking improves sunlight, air circulation, reduces diseases, and also increases yield. And the techniques include bamboo staking. For this, it's using bamboo stick for each plant, and its advantage is that it's strong, durable, and readily available. We also have the trellis method, and this is network of wires of rope, and it's efficient space use, good for large farm. Um, the efficient space use is actually good for large farms, and we have the minimum staking, which is a reduced stakes, um, and vine spreads on the ground, and it's actually a low cost one, and less labor is required in this one. Looking at the irrigation method, this is actually um, ensuring that adequate water, especially is provided, adequate water is provided, especially during dry period. And we have methods. We have the rain fed, we have the manual method, we have the drip irrigation. When we talk about the rain fed, it actually relies entirely on natural rainfall, and it is best for low cost production in rainy seasons. And we have the manual one, which is using buckets or watering can to be able to water the plants or the um, yam that has been planted. And it's best for very small scale farm. And we have the drip irrigation, which is that water is being delivered directly to root via pipes, and it's actually the most efficient, and it's used for large scale farming, and also it's for high yield farming also. While yam is often rain-fed, drip irrigation maximizes yield and also the quality. So it is important to note that. Now, looking at the necessary things for success, putting it all together for high yam yield. One, you need to match your farm location to climatic needs, and you also need to choose sandy loam soil with good drainage. You also ensure the farm has good road and is near a market. You use quality seed yam, and you also prepare land properly in whether ridge or months and mulch also, and you provide support using staking. And lastly, you consider drip irrigation for optimal results. In conclusion, mastering land preparation and cultivation is the foundation of profitable yam farming. No single practice guarantees success. It required integrating multiple techniques. Proper site selection, the soil management, planting, staking, and also water control works together. This knowledge enable farmers to be able to achieve high yield, better tuber quality, and also sustainable production. Thank you for listening.